welcome to Grounded Voices. In this episode, joining with me today is Dr. Kafil Khan, who was finally released from the Madura jail on the midnight of September 1st. He was slapped with NSA for the speech he made at Aligarh on the citizenship legislation. Dr. Kafil Khan, welcome to Grounded Voices.
Hi.
So you have said that in the BJP regime, jail has become your second home. So can you tell us about your life inside the jail, and did you face any kind of mistreatment or any kind of torture from the?
It's 3.5 years of regime. I was behind the bar, I think 9 months after the BRD oxygen tragedy, 2 months after the Bahraich incident, and then again 7.5 months or so. So around 2.5 years, I was behind the bar only. So yes, you called it like a second home, but
Yes.
this time, the previous 9 months was more of mental harassment, and that time they never physically touched me. But this time, when the STF, the Special Task Force of Uttar Pradesh, has arrested me from Mumbai airport on 29th January, the next 72 hours was a physical torture, and it was like what I have seen in movies. Uh, the police do with the criminals, hardcore criminals, or with the terrorist activists. That's what they did. They made me naked. They made me lie down. They beat me with the sticks, and they didn't provide any food or drink or anything for next 72 hours, and didn't let me sleep for 1 second. And there was like one officer used to come, and then second officer used to come, and then third officer used to come and ask me some weird questions, just like that I am some, very anti-national person who have you gone to abroad to destabilize the government? I said my passport is with the under judicial custody, and how can I go outside India when my passport is with the under judicial custody? And the second thing, there's one individual. How can destabilize the government? Have you invented some powder which can kill millions of people? I said, man, I'm a pediatrician. I'm a doctor. I'm not like, I don't have any lab to invent some powder which can kill millions of people. We have audio recording that you want to topple the government. I said, okay, show me those, show me those proof. But those were the weird questions. Like, they treated me very badly. And initial few days in jail also, till my parents gone, like my family gone to the court, approached the court, and my brother came to meet me. Till then, that they put me in a solitary cell, and they didn't provide any food or water, and I became, so hungry that my abdomen was cramping, and I was screaming like a mental patient, and I was chewing one sleeve, and I was crying, and I forgot everything, and I was hallucinating. I can see, food in the air. It was like the thing. So initial days was horrible. So this time it was more of physical torture, and every time them jailer or this STF people, at the last they said that stop speaking about BRD oxygen tragedy, those 70 kids who had died in that incident, and stop speaking about government policies. You will be a free man. And if you speak again, your life will be hell.
Yeah. And after your release, you have raised concerns that you feared getting killed in an encounter. What was the basis of these fears? Did you hear anything about it from others?
See, the basis is so many things are there. First thing, if you remember that my brother was shot.
Yeah.
One of my brother was shot on a 10th of June 2018 when I came out of the jail. And during that time also I had beard, and he came from Umrah, and he was also having beard. And two assailant came, and they tried to kill my brother, where the chief minister himself was within a kilometer, and even after 2 years, no arrest, no who tried to kill my brother, no inquiry, no investigation. One is that, then there are so many phone calls and threat on social media that I will be killed. And the third thing, that if, in September 2018,
Hmm.
when this there is a 78 kids died in
Yeah.
Bahraich district hospital, and the Uttar Pradesh government said that those kids died of because of mysterious disease. Uh, I went to find out what is mysterious disease, because in medical term there is no mysterious disease. There is a
Hmm.
always a diagnosis. So I
Yes.
went to find out, and I find out that those kids who died because of encephalitis. So when I was going to do a press conference, the cops caught me and they took me to a isolated place. And next 24 hours I was in a car, and they didn't inform my family, they didn't inform the media, they didn't inform anyone. And they took me in the night around 10 o'clock in some forest place. And I think if the media would not have come that night, they would have killed that day itself. So that fear was there. That's why it's not that this time, when I came out of jail, I
Hmm.
said that they will kill me an encounter. Even if when they arrested me in Mumbai, there itself, in front of media and also in front of the judicial magistrate who gave me the transit remand, I requested the magistrate to write down that there is a threat. I don't believe Uttar Pradesh police, they can kill me encounter. So there is a, see, every time they put me with some false and weird cases.
Hmm.
And, uh, and so at the last, I think that's the last option they have. I think.
Left.
And that's why my family was so apprehensive, because see, they want me to stop speaking. And I am continue,
Hmm.
raised voice against the injustice done to anyone. It's not about the BRD oxygen tragedy. I
Hmm.
have worked. If you know my history, and if you know my story, I have done so many free medical camp, around more than 100 medical camp, and treated more than 50,000 people all over India, and went all the way. I toured all over India and found out that the BRD oxygen tragedy was just a brutal face of our broken health system, and
Hmm.
it started a health for all campaign, which demands and which is exposed that the 72% of Indian population doesn't have health access.
Yes.
So I think that's what urged the government, and they started witch hunting.
And you have now decided not to go back to your home in Gorakhpur, but to stay in Rajasthan. So why is it so? Do you fear of being booked again with new charges once you return to your home? And what are your future plans?
Uh, 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 One thing is that that I have not ran away
Yeah.
from the Uttar Pradesh. I am going back after 1 week.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
uh, And the second thing is that actually the, the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court he ordered
Hmm.
to release me immediately.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he has
Yes.
clearly said that in 45-page order, he has clearly said that since BRD oxygen tragedy, the government sponsored victimization is continued, not only about but the detainee, about me, for the whole family. So he started with 2017 itself. And then he has said the district magistrate Aligarh, while slapping NSA, he selectively choose from the speech, the words I spoken in that speech, the so-called inflammatory and
Hmm.
speech I delivered in Aligarh. Uh, he what he did, that I spoken about 30 minutes, 45 minutes speech, and he had put in a 2-minute CD. So selectively chosen those words and put it like a hatred and violence. So Chief Justice has clearly said no responsible person can do that, and that speech is not about hatred and violence. Actually, the speech called for the unity and integrity of India. So he called it illegal about the detention of NSA. Also quashed that all the three extension I got. So even after that, that he said that immediately release, and the superintendent of jail received the order by 11:30 in the morning, and district magistrate of Aligarh has received the order by 11:30 in the morning. Even the home minister of Uttar Pradesh government and even central government in India has received the order. All 14 people which we made the party received the order by 11:30 in the morning. Still, they didn't release me. The superintendent of jail was saying that I've been waiting for the DM's order. DM was saying that I'm waiting for the High Command order. High Command is who is sitting in the Lucknow, and High Command is not receiving. The office is not receiving the order. So my family got scared, and my brother, he said that they're moving to the court again tomorrow morning, on second, that for the contempt of court. So the deadline was 12 o'clock in the night. So they released me only at 11:55 p.m. See, so to my family who was waiting, and my family who was waiting since morning, they got very scared and suspicious that something is going on, and they're trying to frame me with another charge, and they want let me go out, because on 10th of February, when I got the bail on the same charges, they didn't let me go out from the jail. On 4 days, they detained me illegally. And on 14th of February, they slapped me NSA. You know that?
Yes.
No. So once bitten, always be little careful. So they got scared, and there were a lot of police cops were already outside the Mathura jail. They didn't come for my security. A lot of police was there. So my family got scared. So they thought that next border is Rajasthan. It was just 20-minute journey. So we came to Rajasthan, and here Congress government was there, and they assured us our safety. So we thought like, but it's not like that I am running away from. I'm going back.
Yes. And now at Aligarh, you began your speech by quoting from Allama Iqbal that there must be something special that we still exist despite the whole world against us. So how was your feeling and your reaction when you heard about the Allahabad HC order?
Actually, it was a relief, but we didn't expect such a excellent judgment. That this judgment is a landmark in the history of judiciary. That in UP you see the slap NSA like anything. Last year itself, this year itself in 2020, around 186 people have been slapped with NSA. So, and most of these people are from particular community. I won't go into that detail, but this is a landmark judgment, and that really relieved we the whole family, and I would say that all those people from all 138 crore Indian who are supporting me and raising my voice across the particular political spectrum, across the even the Bollywood, even the outside India, Gulf, US, UK, Canada, Europe, everywhere, wherever whoever was raising my voice, they got good news, and everybody was relieved. Yes, that's why when I came out, I thank the judiciary for this excellent order.
And I'm coming to my final question. Now, a lot of students, journalists, activists are being charged under stringent laws such as NSA, UAPA, etc. So, just for exercising their dissent. And this witch hunting is still going on. So, how do you see this arrests, and how are you looking at the future of CAA movement, anti-CAA movement?
Uh, See, this is that's the problem with the democracy. What is happening in India is breaking, and that's why so many people are coming forward to speak, and their voices are being suppressed just to create a smart atmosphere of fear.
Hmm.
You know, so many people have killed in Delhi violence recently. When, if you remember, the President Trump was
Hmm.
in India,
Capital, yeah.
and yeah, Indian Delhi capital, and so many people killed from a particular community, and the same particular community people have been jailed.
Yes.
So, if you ask me, the atmosphere and to the danger to democracy and to hatred between two religions is increasing for the past 6 7 years, and people are divided on the basis of caste, religion, and socio-economic status is so much, and the divide is has been so much that the scar they have given to the youth is going to take years or maybe decades to heal. तो बट द थिंग इज दैट, एक ये भी कहते हैं कि इस जुल्म के दौर में जुबा खोल गया कौन, अगर हम भी नहीं बोलेंगे तो बोलेगा कौन. Somebody has to speak,
Yes.
somebody has to give their sacrifice, and people like me and people like so many others about anti-CA movement. CA is not is a, CA is a discriminatory law, but when our home minister says that it is to give to, it is for the giving nationality, not taking out the nationality. Okay, fine. I'm not against the CA, but when you talk about the chronology of CA by NPR by NRC, then the opposition comes, because I've seen NRC happen in Assam and people suffering even from both community. 18 lakh people have been out of the of Assam and put in behind the detention camp. So that's scary. And when to talk about all over India, that the whole chronology is very scary. So somebody has to speak. You know, mm, uh, Whenever I go, I talk to people and I ask them what you want. They say roti, kapda, makan, health, employment, education. But nobody talk about those real issues. They talk about the teen talaq, halala, and Shamshan, Kabistan, Ali, Bajrang Bali, and all those issues which are not the basic concerns of the common people.
Thank you so much for speaking to Grounded Voices. That was Dr. Kafil Khan at twocircles.net. Thank you.